So big news, they did it again. Listen to this.
Is the person in the middle of this all, the Maine Secretary of State, Shenna Bellows. Secretary, thank you so much for being with us. The 14th Amendment, Section 3, says no person shall be a senator, representative in Congress, or elector of president and vice president or hold any office, it goes on to say, if they shall have engaged in insurrection. In your mind, why does that mean Donald Trump cannot be on the Maine primary ballot?
The oath I swore to uphold the Constitution comes first and foremost. The textual analysis of the Constitution and the facts laid before me at the hearing that I was obligated to hold under Maine law brought me to this decision.
You have decided that Donald Trump engaged in insurrection.
The weight of the evidence brought forward under Maine law in the Section 336 challenge that was brought made it clear that Mr. Trump was aware of the tinder he laid in a multi-month efforts to challenge the legitimacy of the 2020 election. And then, in an unprecedented and tragic series of events, chose to light a match.
And you make that decision even though he has not been charged or convicted with insurrection.
At the hearing, we reviewed the evidence, we reviewed the facts and the law. And certainly the question of whether Mr. Trump engaged in the insurrection is a closer one than whether January 6, 2021 was an insurrection, which I also ruled. But the question of whether Mr. Trump was found guilty, the applicability of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment does not turn on whether an office seeker has been convicted of a crime. We looked at precedent in the Civil War, we looked at the law, we looked at the facts, we looked at what was brought forward in this hearing that is specific to Maine law.
Why is this your decision to make?
So the Constitution gives the states time, place, and manner abilities to have different election laws. We have different voting rights. We have different ballot access laws. That's why in our neighboring state of New Hampshire, for example, there are more than a dozen Democratic candidates on the presidential ballot, more than a dozen Republican candidates on the presidential ballot. Here in Maine, there are 2 Democratic candidates on the presidential ballot and less than a dozen on the Republican primary ballot. So it is not uncommon for states to have different ballot access requirements. We do, however, have to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law equally. We do not set the qualifications, but under Maine law, the Secretary of State is tasked with assessing those qualifications when presented with a challenge by any registered Maine voter. And in this case, we had 2 former Republican state senators, Kimberly Rosen and Thomas Saviello, former Democratic state senator, Ethan Strimling, as well as 2 individuals, Ms. Royal and Attorney Gordon, who brought challenges under Maine law to the ballot access. We had qualified Mr. Trump for the ballot. They challenged that. We're required to hold a hearing. And then when we looked at the weight of evidence, it became clear that January 6th was an attack not only on the Capitol, on government officials, but also an attack on the rule of law, that it was an insurrection, and that the U.S. Constitution does not tolerate an assault on our government, on the foundations of our government, and that Maine election law and the Constitution required, indeed obligated me.
Now please listen to Vivek Ramaswamy reaction.
Sometimes the truth hurts. That's when it's most important to see it. What they're doing to Donald Trump right now in Maine, you see the news today, it's unconstitutional, it's anti-American, it's wrong. I'm doing everything I can to stand against it. I'm the only candidate in this race who has said, I will remove my name from any ballot where they remove Trump as well. But we got to open our eyes to the fact that they're not going to let this man get anywhere near that finish line. That's the hard truth. We can't fall for their trap. They're selling us the rope today that they will use to hang us tomorrow. All I'm asking you to do is to open your eyes right now. See what's going on. They have fooled us time and again. Fool me once, shame on them. Fool me twice, shame on us. Open your eyes, people. If you see what I see, then you understand that next year isn't what they're selling you. It's going to be something else altogether. Get ready for it.
These Democrats are so scared of Donald Trump, it's actually funny. From the same people always talking about protecting democracy. You protecting democracy by trying to stop the American people from voting for the person of their choice? What are you so afraid of? I thought Joe Biden got 81 million votes. Evil, man. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I have a lot of respect for Vivek Ramaswamy. Trump supporter here. I'm a Trump guy. But I have a lot of respect for this man. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Trump 2024, bro. It's about to be a crazy year. God bless you. Catch you on the next one.